We're making Texas brownies with McKelty, my lovely assistant and daughter.
So excited to be here.
Pregnant with twins. Okay. There are no fail brownie recipe. You really can't mess this up. They're not a gooey brownie, they're a cakey brownie. And we liked them because we have a big family and we need a lot of dessert. And it makes a whole sheet pan full of brownies. They just cook perfect every single time. The recipe calls for buttermilk. Instead, we have lactose-free milk and a lemon. You want about a tablespoon of lemon juice. But of course, fresh lemon is gonna taste better. You just squeeze it in. We're gonna do a half lemon because we can measure with love. And it's gonna curdle really, really nicely. And that's it. We are going to melt our butter in the pan.
How much butter?
We're using a cup of butter, and it's 1 cup of water, and we just pour it right in. Even though it's not melted, it's fine, it will melt. And then the cocoa.
How much cocoa?
1/4 cup, and that just goes in as well. And now, let's put those aside. And so this needs to come to a boil. And while this is coming to a boil, we're going to mix together our dry ingredients. So go ahead and grab the 2 cups of flour.
Okay, 2 cups of flour.
Yep.
Put it into the bowl, I'm assuming.
Nice, pointing away from you so you don't get messy. I like that.
I did it so that the camera could see what I was doing. 2 cups of sugar.
That's a lot of sugar, huh?
That is a lot of sugar.
And then whisk it together. So this is a great recipe when you have a lot of kids, just because it does make a lot. But did we make it a lot? No. Do you know how many kids we had that were super young? They can't have a lot of desserts.
No sugar, because then you have pure chaos.
No. Yeah, this was a treat. This is an absolute treat. Okay, so let's crack 2 eggs into this bowl.
Is there a special thing when cracking eggs? Because I swear every time I crack an egg, I get a little bit on my fingers.
Well, you can
Isn't there like a special, but is there like a special way to make it so that doesn't happen?
I don't know. It's messy. They're eggs. Who would have thought about doing the eggs too?
Like, who decided, let's take things from a chicken and let's put it into what we eat?
Who thought of separating out the eggs from the yolks to do that, right? Yep, there you go. Okay, so this is nice and boiling. So we're just gonna pour it into our bowl and go ahead and stir that together. Okay, that's good and mixed. We're gonna add our buttermilk, which is lovely now. Yeah, look at that. So it's even sticking to everything. We're gonna throw that in with our, oh, you see that? I bet it's awesome. If it smells like buttermilk.
Do we mix the buttermilk
in
the eggs?
Does it taste like buttermilk?
No, I don't wanna taste that. It's got lemon and milk, that's gross.
Is it? No, I like it. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, go ahead and mix that up a little bit, and then we're gonna put that in here. And we're just gonna mix it till it's just nice and smooth. It's kind of pretty, huh?
It is kind of pretty.
I've always cooked with my kids. Even though it takes more steps, it's more messy, I've always cooked with you guys.
It's fun because like now as an adult, I can cook.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have to take a cooking class. I didn't have to come to you after I was married and ask for advice. Like I could cook.
The only time you needed me was when you didn't understand the recipes that I wrote down.
Well, that's because when you write recipes, you write for you. You don't write for English.
I know, husband said the same thing. So for our last step, we have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, but again,
Measure with love.
You could always add more vanilla. And Mexican vanilla, I'm sorry, that stuff smacks. It's amazing. And then it's 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Throw it all in together, and it's nice to have some liquids at the same time because that'll really mix up the baking soda well. And then we'll just mix that up too. All right, so now we're just gonna put it in the pan. So bring the pan over, and we're just going to
pour it in.
Yeah.
And you already put pan spray on this pan.
Yes. If you don't have pan spray on it, that's not fun. Nice. All right, so we're gonna put this in the oven. The goal is to have the frosting done the same time the brownies come out of the oven, because you bring them out and while they're hot, we're gonna pour the frosting on top of it and then it all cools together.
Oh, that's smart.
Isn't that great? You don't have to wait for it to cool. Usually whenever you bake anything,
You have to wait for it to cool.
Yeah, you don't have to wait
nice.
for it to cool. We have a 1/2 cup of butter and 4 cups of
Powdered sugar.
powdered sugar, or it's confectioner's sugar, and I don't know the difference, but I've only called it
They're the
powdered
same
sugar.
thing.
I thought so. 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and then a teaspoon of vanilla.
Do you need the butter to cool after it's melted, or can
No.
you do it while it's hot?
We're just gonna throw it in. And then cocoa powder.
How much cocoa powder?
Quarter cup. And then vanilla. It calls for a teaspoon of vanilla, but
But you're gonna measure with love?
We're gonna measure with love. We're gonna do a cap. And I think we should do 2 caps. I really like vanilla. And then we're just gonna stir it. And see, this is where I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna need some milk in there.
Do you have the heat on?
I think so. No. No. That would have taken a long time.
It was supposed to be warm.
We're gonna start with 1 tablespoon. No, we're not. We're just gonna put in 2 tablespoons and see how we feel.
Of milk?
Yeah. We got a 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup of butter in there, so you know it's gonna be great. So we just let it heat up more until it's runnier, because it needs to be runnier than that. It's not done.
It's a little bit thick right now, darling.
Yeah, but we don't need to add more milk. We don't.
No.
We just need to wait for it to, I'm gonna put that over
Heat
here
up.
so we don't get impatient.
So I don't like just force it?
Yeah, just wait.
So if you are impatient though and you added more milk,
Just
just
don't be impatient.
Just don't be impatient.
Just wait.
Okay. How's that
Okay,
consistency?
no, it's perfect. And then the brownies are done, so I'm gonna grab the brownies.
Okay.
And so they're hot right out of the oven. This until we don't let it cool. It's hot.
Just pour it on?
Yeah, pour it on. Beautiful. So it's already cooling fast, as you can see. Okay.
Thank you for giving me my own plate. I didn't really want to share a brownie with you.
I wasn't gonna share. Sharing is caring
I have
sometimes, but not with brownies.
Yeah, I've got 2 kids inside my womb. I need all of the brownie I can get to
Oh.
feed them. We didn't cheers. That was rude. I'm definitely gonna make this at home. I'll make this for Avalon. I'll make this for the twins.
When you have company over,
Oh, this would be brilliant for like game nights with company.
yes.
Because there's
yes.
tons of it.
There's tons. Yep.
You can even just like eat it right out of the pan. Just like that. No need for the plate. I don't even know why we have plates.
We're gonna make homemade chicken noodle soup, and it's with my mom. My mom taught me how to make it, and my grandma Myrtle, my dad's mom, taught my mom how to make
It's
it.
actually known as Grammy.
Grammy.
Yes. So one of the things about chicken noodle soup, and wow, I didn't know I'd get teary over this one, is the memories of Grammy. I know. I mean, she was so big in my life. And it wasn't just that she cooked meals, but it's what she cooked them for, which was for family.
And I've taught my girls' house, so we've been making this soup for 4 generations. So we're gonna start with a whole chicken. I like the whole chicken idea because there's a lot of goodness in this thing. Everything here is what's going to go in the soup. 2 fresh bay leaves and 2 fresh sage leaves. And it's probably like a whole onion, 3 or 4 carrots, 3 or 4 sticks of celery, some kosher salt. Just cover it with cold water. I don't know exactly how much water. It depends on the size of your pot too.
Throw those,
Okay.
stick those sage leaves.
One of those in it?
Yeah, put that in the flute. Yeah, put that in the water. Yeah.
Okay. And then this goes on the stove and it cooks probably for like 45 minutes tops. We're not gonna show you how to debone a chicken because that's gross. So, magic, it's already done. So after the soup is done, you take out the chicken, debone it, and just shred it. Just shred the chicken. You like it shredded better than chopped.
I like it shredded better than chopped. I'm convinced it tastes better.
It is pretty.
And it looks homemade instead of canned.
Okay, good. Good. Oh, wow, she's the way you said canned. Next, what you do is you drain the soup. So let's go ahead and drain that into the bowl. Look at that, all that goodness. You're not gonna eat this. We've drained this and we're not gonna, this is just to flavor your broth. So we hold that aside, pour the broth. Look at this beautiful broth. The smell is better. Oh. And then taste it now.
It's sweet.
That's the kosher salt, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's what kosher salt does. That's the difference in salts. It's
I don't
sweet.
know if, okay, well, at
Wow.
this point,
That's full of happiness,
we've got
yes.
poultry seasoning. We can add it if you think it needs poultry
I
seasoning.
do think it needs a little,
How
I think it
much
needs a
is
little
it?
bit of poultry seasoning.
There's probably a teaspoon. And then I love bouillon paste.
That's true,
We're gonna
you
do
do.
like a half a teaspoon kind of
Okay.
thing. It's your taste. So let's just do all of these vegetables. Let's do it all.
And half the onions.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
right.
start with that. That's a lot of onion. Just start with that. All the carrots.
Good?
I love the
Oh, we'll
carrots.
do the carrots? I
Yes,
agree.
all the carrots, definitely.
So I'd say we're only gonna cook this for like 10, 15 minutes. That's it,
Once it comes to a simmer.
once it comes to a simmer. And then we can make noodles.
Yay, we get to make noodles. I love making noodles.
Noodles are like a labor of love.
They
'cause
are.
It makes a mess.
It is a labor of love.
It makes a mess, which is why it's nice to have like a silicone mat, and also protects your counter from getting cut. So we're gonna start with 2 eggs. Mom, when I used to make this for like the whole family, I used like almost a dozen eggs because I had to make so many noodles because that's the best part.
Oh, I know.
Quarter of a teaspoon of kosher salt again.
Yep, I love kosher salt. And then we'll do like a quarter of a teaspoon of baking powder.
Nice.
And then about a cup of flour.
This is so much fun cooking with you
Alrighty.
again.
I know.
I love it.
this. This
Mom
is
and
a
I
good
cook,
time.
we cook very differently. We cook,
We do cook
very,
real different.
very
yeah.
differently.
I do like to use my hands because it's easy to incorporate the flour, but you also feel the dough change. And you just get a sense for the dough when it's ready.
And we're gonna hold on to this flour because we're gonna need it for, well, dusting this, frankly. You just wanna keep a really well-floured surface. Your key right here, I'm gonna move these eggs. Your key is to keep a well-floured surface.
I roll them out thinner.
Yeah, I like them
Grammys
rolled
were a
out
little
thin.
thicker.
I think the thinner the noodle, the better they taste though, honestly, because you just want that chicken broth. The chicken broth is what cooks the noodles. So the thinner they are, the better your noodles are gonna taste. See how much flour goes into it? It's a lot of flour. And then the other side too, do you flip it?
No, just roll them. We like to roll the noodles just because then they're easier to cut and slice. We'll start with the serrated on that end, see how you like it. Let me start with this knife on this end.
We're just gonna cut it into probably not more than 1/2 of an inch.
Maybe less.
You're doing so good. You cut and I'll start rolling. You're doing beautiful. This is the fun part. This is when you call all the kids to the room and you have them separate out the noodles. And then we're gonna separate them gently.
I have a controversial question to ask you, Christine.
Really?
I don't put my noodles in whole and long. I cut them a little bit.
Mom, no. We
Honey,
want the long
you can't.
noodle. I can't
if you're
do
gonna
it.
put this whole thing cooked in your mouth, it's like, it won't fit in my mouth.
Fine, cut
I have
them.
chicken and
I can't do
carrots.
it. It's a sacrilege. So here's our noodles.
Put the chicken in.
Do we want to add all the chicken? This is
Yeah.
okay.
Come to a boil.
It's just gonna come to a
Then we'll add
boil.
the noodles.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh,
So we've
it's
got
beautiful.
it's a rapid boil. You want a rapid boil for noodles. So you don't add in all the flour.
I don't, because I like it a little brothier, and then the noodles will soak up some of it as well.
You kind of drop them in individually so they don't stick together.
Do you remember when we were making this and Peyton came in and he started like stirring it?
It's because I did.
Oh.
I didn't know that you
Oh.
shouldn't, so I learned that day as well.
It's like,
Because
no,
Mama used to have to push the noodles down to add more noodles. Because the kids were like, more noodles! So I had to push it down, so the kids were used to seeing me push it down. So that's it, and then put on the lid, and then you turn it down to like a low simmer, and then you walk away. So,
It smells good even before you take the lid off. It smells good. Oh, it is pretty, and the noodles are done to
it
perfection.
smells so good. Too bad it's not smell-o-vision. Look at that. So we still have a great amount of broth, which you want because tomorrow you're gonna have less broth because the noodles are just gonna keep absorbing the goodness. Blow it.
Oh my God, that broth is good. I love the sweetness in the broth.
Sure.
I love that sweetness.
So good.
I think we did great. I think we have a good combination.
Nice. Home cooking.
Home cooking.
We're gonna make graham cracker coffee cake. And my lovely assistant for this one is Isabel.
Thank you.
So you don't cook at home?
I don't use, well, so I cook for myself, but Maddie usually will cook dinner. But what I'll cook is pancakes that Caleb always teases me about because they are always burnt.
This, you can take this recipe home and do
I
it.
could.
You can wow
I would,
them.
Yes.
Are you gonna wow them when you go home?
I am. I am. I'm gonna show them what I made and they're gonna be so impressed. It's gonna be amazing.
They are. We turned the oven onto 350 because that's the magical temperature of everything in the world. And then we prepared the pan. Butter, straight up butter in the pan, and then parchment paper. So this is the filling and the topping. We have a block of graham crackers and 1/2 cup of melted and then cooled butter. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1.5 cups of brown sugar, like pressed. So you're just gonna throw those into this bowl.
Okay. Me?
Yeah.
Okay, just.
And I'm giving you mad skills.
Yeah, right.
To go home and be
Right.
good.
What if I don't? Okay, wait. Okay, cool. Wow, that's beautiful. All of that.
Yeah.
Why do you cool the butter instead of putting it in hot?
Maybe because I don't want it to burn me. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Just down low so it doesn't splatter.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool beans.
Good. And then take this and you just hit the snot out of it. If you're having a bad day and you're angry, this is a great meal to make when you're angry.
I feel like that's dangerous. I feel like you won't let me
Whack
do
the
this.
snot out of that.
Really?
Yeah, just hit it. There's,
Yeah.
just let me,
Like
Yeah.
how?
I don't
much
know.
do
That
we
looks
want
great.
it? Oh.
You can have some, that's great. Perfect.
cool.
I'll take that as a time to stop. Maybe when it bursts, it's done being hit. So go ahead and take it,
Beautiful.
open it, and empty it into there.
Okay.
All of it. Yeah.
Even though there's like chunks, it's fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The thing is cooking is pretty easy. It's just easy. There's a lot you can mess up.
I feel like there's like
It
so
doesn't
many
matter.
people who would disagree with that. I say
that's
you just have a
sad.
skill with it. You just have like, you think it's easy because you have fun with it. But some people are like nervous in the kitchen.
Do you like? Oh.
I get really nervous because I'm worried that like something's gonna go wrong and they won't like it. So I'm more of a nervous cooker than anything.
We're gonna use our hands with this recipe. I'm just letting everybody know, straight up. Get used to it. Your best tool in the kitchen is, in fact,
Your hands.
your hands. Okay, for the main body of the coffee cake, it's 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour,
Okay,
1 teaspoon of baking powder,
beautiful.
and 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice.
Ah, yes.
Smell that. So much goodness in this
Oh,
spice.
this was fantastic.
I know, it's my favorite spice. Let's go ahead and mix that really well.
Okay.
Your dad loves angel food cake.
Yeah.
It's an abomination.
It is amazing.
no
But however,
chocolate
I
in
do
it.
think this tastes better. But for my birthday, I think I always drifted towards angel food cake.
So we're just gonna set this aside, and then we have 1.5 cups of butter and 1/2 cup of sugar, and we're gonna cream that into goodness. That's good.
Do you not want to, which part do you not want to mix too much because the cake will be, what is it, like gammy?
Like at the end, it'll be rubbery. At the
Okay.
very end. So right now you're fine to mix
Okay,
it.
cool.
So we're kind of beating it a little bit. You can be done. We're
Okay.
gonna add 2 eggs into it. Yeah,
Like-
perfect.
oh.
See, it's just a little
Oh, I
tiny
see.
seam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right, you're right. Good
Cool.
job, Mom.
And then we have 1/2 cup of sour cream.
Okay.
Cool. Cool. And then it's like a teaspoon of vanilla, or just like a cap of vanilla.
A cap of vanilla?
I like that. Every time it calls for a teaspoon, I just do a cap, maybe more, because I love
Generous. Do it with love. A lot.
to measure with love, baby.
Okay. And then, does it matter the speed?
Let's just start slow because it doesn't make a schleppy mess.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. This is the flour mixture.
Pour it in now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now this is a spot where you can overmix it and you don't want to. So just
Okay.
gently put it all together.
Like fold, is that the right term?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can fold it. Yeah. Okay, that's probably good. I wouldn't do more.
Really? Okay.
So now is the fun part.
Okay.
So you're gonna take about half of that batter
Okay.
and put it on here, just like half of it. So you're just scooping out little bits. That way it's
Like
easier
very
to
little?
spread. I think so.
Okay.
That way it's easier to spread. So this is the part
Okay.
that you're gonna get in your hands messy.
Okay.
So what you do is you just get your hands wet. You can use butter spray or water, and you just press it down. See that?
Oh, and it doesn't stick.
No,
Is that
because
of
your
the
hands are
water?
wet. Okay, let's grab the topping in the
Okay.
center.
Okay.
Yep. So half of it is going to go here, and this is the part where let's just kind of take half of it and sprinkle it. So you kind of take it like this, and maybe
Okay.
just like sprinkle it on there like that.
Okay.
I think the best part
Yeah.
about coffee cake is the inconsistency, because sometimes you get that bite of goodness, and you're
Yeah.
like, I need that, you know?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get the next layer.
Like that big, you think?
I think so.
Okay.
Just
And
kind
then-
of, yeah, you're gonna put maybe like 9 little scoops. So
9?
we've got like 3 and 3, like a mathematical equation. I don't know. We wanted to experiment with this recipe a lot. So we remember we went
Yes.
to the store and we got granola, and we were gonna mix the granola. We got oats.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Remember?
Yeah.
We just went crazy. We were gonna just try cookies. So my kids you don't like nuts.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but you don't want it in this.
No, I
Yeah.
I don't want it to like take away from the flavor.
Yeah, so my kids, they don't like nuts in things, not all the time. Like nuts in cookies, anything like that.
Yeah.
So we decided to experiment a little bit, and we tried several variations. One was an oat one, which is your favorite.
My favorite, yeah.
And then this graham cracker one, which was
It just
definitely my
tasted
favorite.
like coffee cake. The oat one didn't really taste like coffee cake.
No.
It just tasted like
Deliciousness.
deliciousness. Exactly.
So you can also use 2 forks and kind of get the forks wet and spread it with the forks as well. So let's just grab the topping now. We can still use the spoon. You're just gonna kind of put it on. Sprinkle it on. You can just kind of pour it and just...
Really? Okay.
You're gonna use all the rest of it now.
Cool.
So
I don't have to...
No.
I can just go crazy? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool beans. Okay, you think that looks good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool beans.
Put it in the oven?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Parchment paper lift, here we go.
That's so fancy. Wow.
That's what you can wow them with at home. Then we should...
that.
What if we do this?
Wow. Look at that, Mom.
Look at that.
That was incredible.
Do you want to take that piece?
Yeah, it's a little bigger. All of them. Okay.
I want a middle one.
You like middle?
Yeah, I like the goo.
Really?
I like the gooey center of everything. So brownies, I want the gooey. Hey,
that's
look
amazing.
at that. Ready?
Yeah.
You gonna make this at home, Maddie and Caleb?
Wow.
The babies? They're gonna let you in the kitchen all the time.
Yeah.
We're gonna make beef pot pie with Aspen. It's perfect because for Aspen and Mitch's open house, oh my gosh, it was insane. I made all these little tiny beef pot pies. They were little. We're not gonna make little ones today. We're gonna make a big one. But ever since I made it, he's been begging me to make it again. What this is first it's making a stew, and which is always,
Yes.
I love a good, thick, hearty beef stew. So Dad never liked how I made this. He always liked a beef soup. This is my favorite, to make a thick, hearty stew. But you need to like this.
What's the difference between a stew and a soup?
Stew is thick and meaty, and then soup is really thin. He liked that beef soup always.
Yeah.
This is what I like, though. You have to have this for the beef pot pie anyway. This is gonna make us enough for 2 beef pot pies, but we're just gonna make one and we can just freeze the rest of it. And you've got 2 meals in one. So this is great. So we have like 2 pounds of a beautiful, beautiful, like tender cut juicy steak. And we have a cup of flour and a teaspoon of paprika and a tablespoon of garlic salt. So we have like 5 or 6 of the Yukon Gold potatoes, which is my favorite potato. There's 1 carrot that is not peeled, it's just scraped clean. You always want to add those peels in there.
Okay.
And then the onion, like a cut up onion. That's it. So we're just gonna grab our pressure cooker.
Okay, perfect.
It's all pressure cooker. This is the easiest. You have one of these, right? A pressure cooker?
No.
I don't. Guess what?
I know.
I live 5 minutes away. You can borrow
true.
it. It's nice because if you have a setting that lets you saute. So we're gonna saute first.
Okay, perfect.
And then we're just gonna add in, I don't know, oil to kind of
Whatever,
cover the bottom.
Yeah.
So go ahead, do you wanna throw in all of these dry into here?
Okay.
So it's the flour, and this is what's gonna give it the hearty beef stew is this.
I like the paprika. I didn't know that was what was in it.
Always.
Yeah.
How do you usually make your garlic salt then?
I don't know, I just throw them all in. I don't really measure, but I should measure spices.
Measure with love.
Yeah.
No, I don't like to measure at all.
I always double all the recipe or all the spices they tell me to do.
I did that last time with the chicken divan. I doubled the poultry seasoning, and it tasted far better than usual. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That was so good.
It was really good.
That's the sound you want. You want the sizzle, because then it's going to just saute the outside.
Okay.
So right now, what you don't really want it to burn, because then you have to really scrape the bottom. So we're going to kind of just let that be there again, and then turn it again.
If you didn't have a pressure cooker, would you just cook it on the stove?
And like the stock pot, like your Dutch oven.
Okay,
I do it in a Dutch oven. Do you have a Dutch oven?
Yes.
So all you have
That's
to
what
do.
I usually do with like beef is the cast iron.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So instead of that, then it would just take longer to cook.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So this is just quicker.
It's just faster. Cooking for Mitch is always, when he likes the food you make, isn't that the biggest compliment in the world?
It is a compliment, yeah. I mean, he likes everything I make, so.
Yeah.
No, Mitch always is very frustrating, actually, because Mitch always cooks better than I do. I think he does.
He's a good
like,
cook.
I go home and I'm like, oh, you just made this meal out of thin air and it's delicious.
I think he's a good cook too.
So too.
The sauteing probably only takes 10 to 15 minutes or something, and this is the longest part, probably.
Is the sauteing the meat? What about, how do you cook these?
We're all going to throw them all in there, and then we're going to mix the brown. We can do that now.
Okay.
Just mix the brown gravy mix in there with the fork.
I'll stir this.
Yeah, that looks great. And as soon as it's almost brown, we're going to just dump it all in there, stir it up, and close the lid.
You want me
What was
to
that?
just
Sorry.
throw them all in right now? Okay.
It's 2 cups of water and 2 packets of brown gravy mix. And it
Okay.
doesn't matter, you know, use whatever brand you want. It doesn't matter. This is kind of like a cheat. This is a cheat.
Oh, are you supposed
It
to
really
make
is.
these spices?
You can probably make a homemade brown gravy mix and everything like that. But this is like, you just don't have time. It's an easy meal when you don't have time for a big meal. This is perfect.
An easy meal that seems like it's not easy.
Yes. Go ahead and throw in all the
All of
vegetables
this.
now.
Okay. Do you want me to do this now, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm turning this off now too. So you can turn it off.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just off. You just hit cancel and then just go and throw in all the vegetables
Why are you throwing them all in at the same time?
because you can. It's
Okay.
a stew. It's just a stew. So it's, yeah, that's goodness. In a regular beef stew, you don't need that much brown gravy mix.
But since it's going in pastry, you do, right?
Yes, and so we'll just stir it up really good. Isn't it pretty?
It is. I always get so messy when I cook.
I do too. I have aprons all the time.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get the lid. So we're just gonna add this. If you're using a pressure cooker, sometimes they have like a stew setting. That's all you have to do. Or you can do the pressure cook setting, and if you do the pressure cook, it's like 45 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
I think it's done. We can take the lid off
Okay,
and
perfect.
see.
Looks good.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Go ahead and stir it up a little bit. Let's see if there's too much broth, we have to just be really careful.
I don't think this
Oh,
has too much broth. I
nice.
think it's perfect.
This beef pot pie, we do put a bottom crust in. Not all
Oh,
beef
I
pot pie
love-
recipes.
yeah.
It's better with the
You
bottom
need a
crust.
bottom and a top.
Yeah, some of them don't.
I know.
Why would they? That's insulting. So all we're gonna do is just take the pie crust. So this is store-bought, obviously.
I love it.
Janelle would make the pie crust for us if she was here, but I do not take the pie crust. Perfect, just kind of roll it out in there and
Would you do it like that, like up against the edges? And then just
Yeah.
kind of press it down? Mm-hmm. Okay.
let the pan be your guide.
I'll tell you that my pie crusts never look good. Like, they're never pretty.
Why?
Well, I don't know. But
You can
this one
sink it
looks like
down,
it will
too.
be pretty.
Let's just fill this up. And we kind of want to have it be mounded because it's going to be beautiful. And that's better than just emptying it in there.
Okay, see, that's what, I feel like I'd pick it up and dump it in there, but I like this better.
If you'll get too much
dangerous.
juice usually.
Oh,
If you do this way, you
yep.
can control. So if it's too thin, then this is super important to just scoop it out if it's too
Smells
thin.
so good. It does. Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, it would taste good right now too. So if this is a
just
tip
like-
too, if you're gonna make a beef pot pie in a couple of days, but you don't have time to do it, you can make this and put it in the freezer. And then later you can thaw it and make your beef pot pie.
That's my style. Okay.
Just lay it on top. Yeah. Oh, look at that. I'll kind of push it. Just make sure it's kind of, that's great. Just kind of pushing it down.
Would you push it?
Yeah, no, it's just like how you're doing it. So you've got your edges. So your edges can be kissing. Kind of make your edges kind of
okay.
kiss your edges together, and then we'll kind of seal it
Would you cut,
afterwards.
okay, yeah.
I'm just kind of pushing it down like that. We'll cut holes in the middle
I know I do it when I make anything with
with a crust, right?
yeah. Or when I make bread, I do it.
Wait, you do this with your bread?
Better.
Wait, you do this to your bread?
Yeah.
Your bread's so good.
I don't know why.
All right,
Okay,
let's
we're
put it
ready
on
to put
here.
it in?
And we're gonna put it on here. Maybe this would be the fail part because if you don't have it on here, the juices can go all over the oven.
Okay.
So this is catching all those juices.
That's smart because my oven currently has a bunch of stuff on the bottom because I didn't do this.
So here you go.
So I
this
appreciate
might be
that.
the best thing that I'm teaching you today.
Put a pan under it. Should we put it in? Okay.
How does it look?
Looks delicious.
It does look delicious.
Looks like I want to eat it.
It's like a professional. Yeah, I'll close it.
Can
You're
you-
good.
yeah.
Take it over. Oh my gosh. Aspen.
Looks
It's
good.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You really have to wait for it to cool a bit. It settles, but then also it's just going to taste better a little bit cool.
You're gonna be able to actually eat it and not burn your tongue.
Shove it into your face. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's cooled for, I'd say, just 10, 15 minutes is all you need.
Perfect.
Should we cut into it?
Yes, we should.
Okay.
We're good. Oh wow.
Bring that-
Wow.
Hey, look at that. That works out perfect. Good. Go. Think Mitch would like it?
Yes. I'm gonna bring this home to him.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
gonna
look
love
what
it.
I made.
Nice. That's what I want to hear. Good. I'm showing Truly how to make pumpkin dessert, this amazing pumpkin dessert. It's really Janelle's recipe, so I asked Janelle if we could make it and take the recipe, and just like me, she doesn't care. She's like, yeah, use the recipe, it's good, everyone should have this recipe. So first thing we do is preheat the oven to 350. That's already turned on. Do you know what Janelle calls this cake? The pumpkin dump cake.
I'm thinking of a dump truck. I'm thinking of a dump truck.
Dump truck, maybe because you just dump stuff in. We're gonna just dump things in. So we have 1 can of pumpkin. It's just the big can of pumpkin, like 29 ounces, something like that. We have a can of evaporated milk, 1.5 cups of white sugar, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and we're frankly going to add it all to this bowl. I was gonna say that other word. We're gonna dump it all, but I reined it back. We're gonna add it all in. So do you wanna add everything in? And then go ahead and pour the milk in here. Gently and slow, like lower, low, low. Yeah, that doesn't splash everywhere. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Milk
and
doesn't
then we
really
need
splash.
4 eggs. Would you like to crack 4 eggs into this? Oh, see? Boom shakalaka. You don't have to keep cracking it. Great, that's why we do it on the bowl, right there. Nicely done. You demonstrated that to perfection. Cool. Do you like to bake with me or Granny? Who do you like to cook with most? So I can hurt my feelings.
I highly doubt that.
Oh my gosh, you like to cook with Granny? I do too. She's fun to cook with. We're just gonna pour that in the 9x13 that is ungreased. You do not need grease in this thing.
You do not need grease.
No, 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 no. We're going to sprinkle on the box. This is a yellow cake mix. It's a box of yellow cake mix. That's all this is.
It's clearly white.
I know, right? It's not a white cake mix though. It's a yellow cake mix. We just sprinkle it. I'm gonna sprinkle it like this, and then you're gonna finish the rest of it. Okay? See how I'm just sprinkling it? That's it? How do you think? How do you feel about this? Your turn.
Well, I'm very clumsy.
I know. I'm moving back. Look at you. You're doing it like a pro.
Well, let's hope.
What happens if you dump one huge glop in one area and it's not very even?
Me happens.
Well, I think that we just even it out afterwards if that happens, you know? You're doing great. What we're gonna do, if that's okay with you, not gonna but we're just gonna kind of smooth it out a little bit. What do you think about that? Like magic, yep. Well, because when you cook things, if you've got stuff all over the pan, all it does is burn it and then make kids like you have to work harder to clean it. Now we take a cup of butter that's been melted, a cup of melted butter, and we're just going to pour it on top of it. One more layer of goodness. I'll just do this part if that's okay with you. So, would you like nuts on the top of it? Are you a nut person or not a nut person?
Yeah, I like nuts.
Sprinkle them on.
Sprinkle.
Whatever you'd like. I know, I noticed you didn't use another word.
Dump.
It's easy, right? Look at this. You have now made, I'd say, 80% of the family's favorite dessert right now. And that's it. It's done. Now we're gonna put this in the oven and it cooks for an hour. The pumpkin cake is out. There we go. What do you think? You did a great job.
Thank you, Mother.
It looks beautiful. It's been cooling for a while. It cooks for like an hour at 350. It's been cooling for a while. And so now we're gonna do the topping. And the topping is just basically whipping cream. So whipping cream, there's something magical that we have to add to whipping cream so it doesn't turn into butter. Because this can just turn into butter. You can just beat this
We'll make
forever.
homemade butter.
We can.
Turn the butter. Turn the butter.
I'm gonna keep you. You're adorable. So we're just gonna turn this on, and then at some point we have to add in vanilla, and that will stop it from turning into butter. Magical. So the pattern starts to stay, and so that's when we add it in. Let's stop it and add it in.
What do you mean pattern?
It starts to create a pattern that stays. So when it starts to create a pattern that stays, you add the vanilla. So before this, you turn it on.
What do you mean pattern?
You see the pattern it's making?
Oh, yeah.
So it stays, we're gonna add in the vanilla. And it was like 2 teaspoons because I love vanilla. Yeah, perfect. So we'll add the sugar now. Mix it again. Okay. So you can see it's kind of pulling away. What we want is like a soft peak. So when you lift this up, ooh, that's perfect. Okay, so when you hold it up, see how that mountain stays like that? That's actually pretty firm. Yeah, you wanna taste it? So we're gonna put in just a pinch of nutmeg. Does it
Right.
take a lot? Oh, that's pretty. Okay, stir that up really gently.
Beautiful.
Do you think that we should frost it, or do you want to just serve whipping cream on the side? I like the idea of it being frosted. No, let's not lick that yet. Let's just, nope, stop it. Stop it. Just put it on there. I was going to use another word again.
Just dump it on there? Is that what you were gonna say, Mother?
I was. I thought you'd like it. It's perfect. So we just sprinkle on a little bit of cinnamon now, just so it's pretty? Mm-hmm. Go for it. I'll get the cinnamon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh.
Are you... Is this not everything that you dreamed of?
It's definitely, I think it's enough. I think it's perfect. It's perfect. High five, dessert done. You just backhanded me. You backhanded my hand.
Okay, put your hand up again.
There we go.
No, fist up.
No. There's no point cutting it because it's just going to be schleppy. There's one. There's one.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite thing. Better than pumpkin pie?
Yeah. It's a bit less sloppy.
Nice. It looks like you like it. I'm just saying.